It took me forever to do that cover, man. This one right here, beep. It was about 6 months. Pink Floyd, Endless River. Yeah, pretty much. I went through that whole album forever and ever and ever. This is my book, Blind Faith. I am Nick Hewitt, Nicholas Hewitt, whatever you want to call me. I decided to do this more of a live version than just being in a studio somewhere, because I wanted to add that personal touch back into like what I've done with my art, as I feel like my second book has accomplished more than I could have ever thought I would do in like 3 lifetimes. This is going to go more on a YouTube channel, I guess, and I encourage questions, comments, concerns, whatever. But I do maintain professional integrity at this level. Thoughtless opinions and things that have no merit, or whatever is considered the truth nowadays, because the truth is somewhat bended, is not applicable here. Here is my welcome to you to my circus. This is the circus. Life is the circus. My main tenet of my first book was the red balloon. The red balloon is simply just life itself. Everybody's given a red balloon. The problem is when people want more or less, or they want their balloon to be different. Why is that? Instead of celebrating the fact that we have balloons in the first place, or that we're at the circus, which is life too, we seem to be not even happy with that anymore. So Blind Faith actually was an antithesis to, I jokingly call it the antithesis, because I tried to prove myself wrong. My first book was The Duality of the Soul, which talked about integrating different religious philosophies and different thoughts and mindsets and cultures into your own culture, and that somehow transforming you into a more wise person, or, you know, a master of your own domain or whatever. I think a lot of people reference religion and talk about religion too much, but they don't talk about other religions, and it really begs this question, you know. There's a 1 in 400 trillion chance of being born. So I would say that's pretty damn lucky in the first place. Does it look like it? No, because you're a cosmic thread and there's a million people running around you and it doesn't look right. I get that. But the fact of the matter is that you're cosmically unique to the point where that is such a rare occurrence. Everybody running around scratch off tickets, lottery, FanDuel, or whatever. 1 in 400 trillion chance of being born, and you're there already. So you would think that in and of itself would be a gift that people would cherish and just run around and be like, oh my God, life, it's so great. But instead, you have religious people out there that have divided, weaponized whatever scripture they have, and then just attacked people, demanding that they transform themselves into something that is correct by their church standards and not by other church standards. So you have 173 different religions running around. All of them think that they're correct and that the other one's wrong, and somehow going to wind up in a bad place for not being right. To me, it just sounds like a bunch of bullshit. And, you know, as a Catholic survivor of emotional abuse of the church, as an altar boy, as a funeral home child, as growing up around death, morbid endings of people's lives, and seeing paranormal things that I couldn't explain in a funeral home, only to be laughed at or you know, dismissed as just a child. Well, those childish thoughts turn into the moment that I found myself with a Neoglobin anchor on top of a mountain, becoming a man, you know, in the United States Marine Corps, polished, patient, methodical, programmed killer. So having to undo that took a while for me to go through trauma, to get sober, to seek therapy. And I'm in no way a professional. In my book, I like to reference the point that, you know, I still dribble food down myself when I eat. So I'm not trying to be any better than anybody else. I think my picture is I'm trying to be better for everybody else. If I can look at myself as part of the solution instead of the problem, then that's where I want to be at. And the aim of this book is to help people break free. Imagine that you don't have to step in 20 years worth of shit, and that you can just listen to everything that I've been through and how broken I am, and then just not have to step in it. You know what I'm saying? So as I put this out there and professionally, I want to drop that to the professionalism and make it very personal with you being able to send your thoughts and comments, concerns, questions. I'm inviting that this go around, but I will ask that they maintain a certain level of thought out opinion. Blurted out opinions or traumatized opinions of what happened to different people and throwing that my way doesn't really affect the book's aim. The book's aim is helping you break free. If that person is you right now and you're sick and tired of being in the position that you're in, no matter what that is, you are a victim of your circumstances. It's time to break free. I myself used to walk around and identify with my disability. I'm a 100% disabled veteran, United States Marine Corps. I used to say that to people, and I didn't realize what I was saying, man. What I was saying was becoming a weakness in the first place. I'm disabled, like somehow, those people that are in wheelchairs or confined to something that have found a way beyond their circumstances, somehow I'm just a victim of that, right? Or if I found myself in a position, my dance instructor looked at me, and she's been through cancer, and when I compare, I've been through some stuff, but I think my ability to get back up and dust myself off and get back in the fight has been something that the Marines helped me do. Am I different? Hell yeah. Am I out there? Hell yeah. I like to think of myself as just a rocket, basically. 4th of July, not a single firework. I want to get into it though. Let's get into it. This is my first installment. Tell me what you think. I'm not gonna edit anything down. I don't have tech savvy friends. It's just me, myself, solo, and I'm gonna go through this whole book, and we're gonna read it together on my channel. So buckle up. Grab yourself a workbook, some stickers, get something to eat. Snacks are encouraged. Definitely some kind of fluids drinking. And my first question was Chris F. from Arizona. How do I get into character? That was the first question I got as I started talking about doing my book live. And my answer was like, how do I get out of character? How do I get out of this? Like I'm stuck in this circus. Chris, I'll say this. I say I'm perfectly broken. I've been destroyed and rebuilt so many times that it keeps me up at night thinking that I could help one person to find faith or come to their own purpose or see beyond their circumstances, man. And that feeling, I got goosebumps right now. That feeling is freeing, man, to set somebody free or to like I was set free. People helped me. I'm not doing something else that anybody else didn't do. I had tons of people reach in through the shit and grab me when I didn't deserve it. When I was broken and powerless and I told myself I can't drink anymore and I have a child and I have to raise him and I have to step up and be this person, I did that, man. And I was alone. And it's a scary place to be. And you don't have to be there if you don't want to. You can have some friends with you, man. It is lonely at the bottom. It's lonely at the top too. So if you've hit rock bottom, there's no reason other than grabbing a couple rocks to make some jewelry out of them so you remember the experience. That's what I did. I hit rock bottom so hard I started making jewelry out of it. My inspiration to stay in character or to get in character has to be something funny or else I'd cry every single time. Not trying to be all serious, but me and my son were in the mall and we saw these Labubu dolls, and I mean this is like a viral thing. It's just like probably the dumbest thing I could ever seen in my life. But in this instance, it was funny because the fad's over with, and we're both like us. And so we walk in there, and I'm like, okay, I'll get a Labubu, just to have one, just to say I've done it because I have stuffed animals galore. Anyway, and I got a special one. I was so geeked about it, and this little guy, dude, boop. He doesn't really look. He doesn't look like he's a smart Labubu at all, or a she or whatever. So I was all happy, dude. Look at this, man. Like. And then my son got one too, and like his eyes are inverted. So I even got a case for it. I was so geeked, and I found didn't even know what these stupid things were. Like it's got like the uh, authentic whatever, and come to find out it was a knockoff. They're both knockoffs. So I had to keep them even more because what are the chances of getting a knockoff, a secret knockoff with an inverted I secret knockoff? I mean, nobody will ever care at all. But for me and my son, talk about bonding moment. And I guess if there's one thing, and as ridiculous as that sounds, Chris, is I stay in character by being in character. Like this is how I get in character. I remind myself every single day of 10 things that I'm thankful for. I'm learning the Our Father in Italian. I have been. I'm like right at the end, man. That intensitazione thing is just killing me, but I'll get there. I think creating a mantra. If like when I said, get your stickers and your crayons and your pencils, and it's not a Bill Cosby reference. Well, yeah, it actually is, but Picture Pages is probably dates me. Set yourself up in an environment where you can read me, where you can hear me, where you can dive into this deep, deep book with me, and give yourself a chance to experience you again. Because what I'm doing and what I'm bringing to the table through my work isn't anything that you already don't know. It's just reminding you of who you are and why. And trying to drop some of that false trappings and perceptions of people's opinion or what you see on the TV or what deluded and delusional things are in your mind. Do you know like almost 80% of what you believe is bullshit? Like you don't even believe what you believe. But you would never believe that until you take a look back and like actually get into your psychology, your mind. So much of what we do right now, like if I told you that everything that you do will be forgotten in 100 years, and if not totally forgotten in 200 years, that your existence will never even be, not even a thought for somebody. That's how quickly you disappear in the blink of an eye. You are a thread in a cosmic blanket in a universe that's freaking huge. Nothing more. So to think of yourself as something more, or to envelop this personality like I did, I had the biggest ego there was, United States Marine. That's why I'm bringing you a pride check. Because I checked myself because I had to, because social media made me into an asshole. I stopped for 3 years on Facebook. I look back at it now and I can't believe I was that asshole. I can't believe I was that drunk asshole at the bar, that thinks that they can play guitar and dance and everything I did. Just wow. I play guitar and I dance now and I remember it. And it sickens me to know that I wasted a lot of time and I wasted a lot of my life. And alcohol took me a lot quicker than I wanted to go. But as you'll find, mine was glorified drinking. Nothing's wrong with glorified drinking when you party hard and work hard and play harder or whatever, because that's the Marine Corps. Well, it was. My first installment in this endeavor is to remind you of your authenticity and try to open your mind enough and open your heart enough to what I'm saying to really start to dig deep within yourself and redefine the parameters of who you are. I'm not asking you to look at somebody else's religion and make it your own. I'm asking you to look at somebody else's religion and just think about it for a second. Just put yourself in their shoes and try to wonder, like, what is it like for that person to walk around the world and be judged? Is it really different color skin, different color, gender, everything that we do is judged so harshly that you have to start thinking to yourself, like, who the hell are these judges anyway? The judges are, insecure people that can't live their own lives. It's kind of like a life coach certification, you know what I'm saying? 5 minutes later, you're a professional and you can tell everybody about that. But you know what? Your shit's not put together, but you can tell everybody else what to do. Yeah, right. So who am I to tell anybody? I'm the one that's been broken in more pieces than you've ever seen a puzzle put. That's a fact. And I've done everything that I can think of wrong. And what makes me different is that I've learned from my mistakes and having a child and watching that change me and watching my Christianity and watching my walk with everything that I believe in become stronger and becoming something. I'm outside of Christianity. I'm outside of the whole thing because I don't use weaponized versions of anything to influence anybody or tell anybody that they're drastically going to die. I mean, you can flip the TV on right now. You know what scares the shit out of me? The trillionaire, whatever thing he is on the TV where they're all riding a bicycle into this tunnel thing and it's just like mindless bright lights and blinking. What the hell are you, a moth? I used to identify with my disability. I used to be a victim of my circumstances. And when I broke free, I was all alone. I'm Nick Hewitt. I'm coming to you from the lonely, lonely Upper Peninsula of Michigan, somewhere way out where the snow is still about 7 feet deep, and it just rained more and freeze more and snow more, and it's never going to be spring. And I've accepted that. Even though I've tried to clean my truck, it seems like if you wash it, it will fail. And that's what's happening to me. So, Murphy's Law, whatever you want to call it, I'm here to pull you out of you, to bring you back to you, to actually express love in your heart, to find your soul, to redefine everything that's the essence and the purpose of who you are, because my books are about purpose. Finding your purpose like I found my purpose. Being sober is one of those things where, like, nobody's going to come along and give you a pat on the back and be like, hey, buddy, you're sober, because it just doesn't happen. So you have to be on your own, like, out there in the world and every day pressing forward in this mantra to, like, I have an altar set up, like where I get ready in the morning, pictures and stuffed animals and things that remind me of the reason that I'm happy to be that 1 in 400 trillion chance of being born. And what makes me sick is that we take that opportunity and celebration of life and we kill each other. So for as much as you think that I could be out there, and I am, I'm an astronaut in my own world, as much as it hurts me to bring this to you, as much as I've been abused by religion, is the reason that it's so important for me to tell you that I found forgiveness, that I was able to look through everything and really dig into the fact that forgiveness and not being like my enemy is the best revenge in the world. I'm not scared anymore, and you don't have to be. You're not a victim. It's time to break free. Once again, my book is Blind Faith, Pure Sanctification. It's on pre-order, drops in September. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and everywhere else. I think there's like 50-some platforms. Anyway, Nick Hewitt, have a great day. Keep the questions coming. Honestly. Love you guys. Peace.